My friends, earlier this week, an extraordinary American gave a historic speech. Senator Barack Obama addressed the issue of race with the eloquence and sincerity and optimism that we have come to expect of him. He didn't evade the tough issues to soothe us with comforting half-truths. Rather, he inspired us by reminding us of the awesome potential residing in our own responsibility. Senator Obama could have given a safer speech. He is, after all, well ahead in the delegates count for our party nomination. He could have waited for the controversy over the deplorable remarks of Reverend Wright to subside, as it surely would have. Instead, Senator Obama showed us once again what kind of leader he is. He spoke to us. He spoke to us as adults. He asked us to ponder the rate of our racially divided past, to rise above it, and to seize the opportunity to carry forward of many patriots of all races who struggled and died to bring us together. Senator Obama reminded us that cynicism is not realism and that hope is not folly. He called upon us not just to dream about a less racially divided America, but also to do the hard work needed to build such an America. He asked every American to see the reality and the pain of other Americans, so that together we can rise above that which has divided us. He appealed to the best in us. As a Hispanic American, I was particularly touched by his words. Este es un hombre que nos entiende y nos va a respetar. I've been troubled by the demonization of immigrants, specifically Hispanics, by too many in this country. Hate crimes against Hispanics are rising as a direct result, and now, in tough economic times, people look for scapegoats, and I fear that people will continue to exploit our racial differences and place them on others not like them. We all know the real culprit, the disastrous economic policies of the Bush administration. Senator Obama has started a discussion in this country that is long overdue and rejects the politics of pitting race against race. He understands that clearly by only bringing people together and by bridging our differences can we succeed together as Americans. His words are one of a courageous, thoughtful leader who understands that a house divided against itself cannot stand. And after 8 years of George W. Bush, we desperately need that kind of leader. Our national security and our global standing have been gravely damaged by the divided partnership of recent years. We need a president who can bring us together as a nation so that we can face global challenges and repair the damage done in the last 8 years. I am convinced that Barack Obama will make the historic and vital investments into clean and renewable energy to help create jobs and fight global warming. Barack knows that the safety and future of every American child requires that we restore our shared sense of national purpose so that we can work together to rebuild our alliances and rehabilitate our image in a dangerous world. By uniting our nation, we can reverse America's global decline. We must restore our international reputation, our influence, and our capacity to lead others. America must become the beacon for the world again. We need a foreign policy based upon American ideals and not the mere ideology of a president. A foreign policy of diplomacy and respect for international human rights. We prospered and prevailed in the Cold War because both our enemies and friends knew that containment of the Soviet Union and the promotion of democratic values was not a Democratic or a Republican policy. It was an American policy, the very essence of what America was. Senator Obama understands the importance of realism, of principle, and bipartisanship in foreign policy. He opposed the Iraq War from the beginning because he knew that, despite what the administration claimed, that this war would not be easy. He also opposed the war because he saw the president's rush to employ military force, and to do so without the support of our allies. And he saw the war also what it also became, a terrible source of partisan political division and a catastrophic distraction from the war that had united us against the real threat posed by al-Qaeda. Now, I trust him to do what is long overdue: end the Iraq War and bring our troops home. Now, I know Senator Obama quite well. I got to know him when I chaired the last Democratic National Convention, where he gave that wonderful keynote address. And then last year, as we campaigned against each other for the presidency, I came to fully appreciate his steadfast patriotism and remarkable talents. And I also realized that here was a really good guy. And I'll tell you why. You all watch those long, tedious Democratic debates, right? I could barely get recognized at any of them. But one time when I was recognized and I was sitting next to Senator Obama, I said, finally, I've been recognized. So I turned to him and we started chatting a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the moderator, instead of going after other candidates that hadn't been recognized, came back to me and asked me to answer the question. Well, needless to say, I wasn't listening. And I turned to Senator Obama in horror. about to say, "Could you repeat the question?" And Senator Obama whispered, he said, "Katrina, Katrina." And so I then gave my answer on Katrina. He could have thrown me under the bus, but he stood behind me. Now, don't tell anyone about that incident. You know, I also felt a kinship with him because we both had one foreign-born parent, and we both lived abroad as children. In part because of these experiences, Barack and I share a deep sense of our nation's responsibilities in the world. Barack Obama, you're a leader who has shown courage, judgment, and wisdom throughout the years. You understand the security challenges of the 21st century, and you will be an outstanding commander-in-chief. Above all, you will be a president who brings this nation together and restores American global leadership. Your candidacy, and this is an expression of your candidacy, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our nation, and you are a once-in-a-lifetime leader. You will make every American proud to be an American, and I am very proud today to endorse your candidacy for president. Sí se puede, sí se puede. Now I just asked Senator Obama if I was going too long, and he said, no, go a little longer. So before concluding my remarks, I do want to say that we're blessed to have two great American leaders and Democrats running for president. Now, my great affection and admiration for Senator Clinton and President Clinton will never waver. It is time, however, for Democrats to stop fighting amongst ourselves and prepare for the tough fight we will have against John McCain in the fall. The 1990s were a decade of prosperity and peace because of the competent and enlightened leadership of the Clinton administration. And I was in that administration. But it is now time for a new generation of leadership to lead America forward. Barack Obama will be a great and historic president who can bring us the change we so desperately need by bringing us together as a nation, here at home and with our allies abroad. And I know that all Democrats and all Americans are going to work tirelessly to get this man elected. So, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce mi buen amigo, the next President of the United States, Barack Obama.